All that, all that good stuff. The elevator pitch in less than a minute. First of all, thanks for having me, you guys. This is really a special thing for us to be able to share the company. But I'll give you a little background. I used to, many moons ago, work for the Chrysler Corporation for 15 years. I grew up in their sales and marketing division and spent a lot of time in the customer service and service side of business. I did that for about 15 years, moving around. In fact, I have 4 kids, each born in a different state here in the United States because I kept moving. But it was an adventure. Got to learn a lot about the dealership world, see it from both sides, from a OEM side, but also from an entrepreneurial side. Enjoyed that a great deal, and then had an opportunity to move to a well-known supplement company. Ran that I was the CMO there for 15 years, taking care of that, and really learned more about how just to attract customers, how branding worked effectively to build a brand, increased the company from 350 million to about $1.2 billion in 26 markets around the world. Did that for about 18 years, like I said, and then I got into consulting after that, just looking for a change, and started working with manufacturers, started getting back into automotive a little bit. And one day I got a phone call from a friend of mine who I was actually a district manager calling on him almost 35 years ago. And he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm consulting right now." He goes, "Okay, so you're not working. So I got a job for you." And we had a long conversation about the opportunity at Advanced Estimatics. And I've decided to take that on, knowing that it had incredible tech, knowing the background that I have had throughout my career. But really the exciting thing to me was it was something new and exciting that wasn't in the marketplace. And I see huge opportunity for it.
Hey, Dan, sorry to cut you off. Laird, do you see, it looks like our screen, I'm only seeing myself, and we lost Mike.
Correct.
Okay.
Here we are.
There we are.
Wonderful.
Okay. Hey guys, there's something going on. I have a blank screen, so if you can see me, hi. So
we see you, Mike.
we can see you, and it was just a little glitch. And Dan had just given a lot of his background, which is awesome. And he was just about to enter in explaining what he's doing today with Advanced Estimatics.
Thank you. Do you want me? I will continue.
Yeah. Continue on, Dan. Thank you.
Yes. So took the helm over at Advanced Estimatics almost 2 months ago, and really took a look at this, the technology side of it, but more the benefit side to the dealership world, let's call it, because it was something that I think most people would like to do, is find business right in your backyard where you're not spending a lot of advertising to bring it in. And this technology and this platform took advantage of cars that are already on the lot. It helps out in multiple departments, which we can get into if we'd like to. But, I looked at it as this isn't a service lane only, or a used car or a new car. It goes across the whole, I guess, business side of the dealership world, and offered a solution without capital expenditure, without really getting rid of people or removing people. It doesn't get rid of processes. It doesn't change them. It takes what dealers are always doing or have been doing and just enhances it. And it was a low cost entry with a high return. And I got really fascinated by it. So I agreed to that. And it has been accelerating at a rather rapid pace because it's getting out there what this can do. And it's exciting. So I got connected to Gary, and Gary has led the way here. We're on the East Coast, and we're working together, trying to get this into as many hands as we can, because I think it truly will help the dealership world find a lot of found revenue without spending a ton of money. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So from my standpoint, just for everybody that's paying attention, is you're going to talk about your app and how the app takes 4 pictures and it'll give estimates on cosmetic, and you're moving into the collision as well.
Correct.
And I talk about connecting the unconnected, and that's why I see that your product, they're already doing things, and they're taking pictures and checking the cars in. why wouldn't they want to capitalize on getting the cosmetic and opening up more avenues to help the customer? Because as you said earlier, it is not just one thing. You got lease customers, you got customers that you're acquiring, you've got the used car manager at the auction. So this simple tool in technology is huge. And if you could just kind of talk a little bit about diminished value and why these, it's important that people know that there's options, as opposed to putting in an insurance claim and having your insurance go up, or sending a lease back to the manufacturer and them having dents, but then more importantly having an accident and then it being on Carfax, and now that vehicle isn't worth what that customer had expected. So if you can just touch on a few of those things, please.
We could talk about that for a week. There was a lot there, Gary. So I think one of the most important things is just, if we take a look at statistics through NADA, 40% of cars on the road have some type of damage, whether it's cosmetic, weather related, or accident damage. Those cars are coming in. You take an average dealer, let's say they bring in 100 cars a day in their service department. 40% of those have damage. 40 cars a day. That's an opportunity that's not being utilized right now. What our platform does is, like Gary said, you take 4 or 5 pictures, you can focus on specific damage, and you will get an estimate back with what I call a economy range all the way up to OEM factory authorized service. And it is dead accurate. In fact, I just had a friend of mine send me a few pictures on a car and said, what do you think this is going to cost? I sent him our estimate. He called me back a little shocked and said, I didn't tell the place I went to I had your platform to use it, to give it, and you were right on. I said, I know it is. It's pulling from billions of data points. I guarantee it's close. And what ended up happening is those cars are found money on the dealership lot. Now you've got to be able to have the conversation. How do you talk to these folks? Because you could do it and you could have a car that's just hit on every panel. But what's important? What can they afford? What is something that you really want to give to your insurance company? If your deductible is $1,000 and the repair is $900 or even $1,100, you might want to consider just repairing it. One, we don't report to Carfax because it's through the dealership. The dealership is handling it. If that's important to know, we don't sell people's information. GDPR, all we keep is the VIN number and the pictures. The VIN number doesn't have identity rights, I like to say, right? You can look them up wherever you want, but you can get that estimate back. So that opportunity starts to feed the dealership, whether that's now 10% of dealers in the US have a body shop. But I guarantee you 100% of them got a relationship with a body shop. What if you go to the body shop and you said, we're going to scan every car, and every one I get, we're going to copy you guys on the estimate, and we're going to copy our business development center on it. Let's call this customer, work together. There's the reciprocal piece of the parts sales that will automatically happen, right? You could be selling your parts at retail to the body shop for repairs, or work out a percentage that says, I'm gonna send you X amount of estimates, and whichever ones you fix, send me a little bit. And we've talked to, and I know Gary has too, there's a lot of collision centers or collision shops who go, man, I'm at 80, 90% capacity. I've got so much insurance. Just don't have room. Well, I can tell you something. If I owned a business and I was at 80 or 90%, you know where I'd want to be? 100% or over capacity, where I might consider expanding. This allows you to get the estimate, look through it, and decide what repair is really necessary. If it's cosmetic, okay, I got a guy over here who's got some free time. Let's pop this car in there. Let's have a good conversation with the consumer. Let's make it happen. It fills up a spot, keeps them busy. I don't have to worry about sitting out front, waiting hours for people to get estimates. I've got a constant flow of business that's coming through. So then we look at that and we say, that's pretty good business. But look at this from the used car side, like you said, Gary. Somebody's coming in late at night. You're about to close up the store. They want to do a deal. Used car manager's already gone home. What do you typically do? You guess, right? Maybe this is what it's going to cost to recondition it. What if you could run this thing in less than a minute and know pretty accurate, like 98% accurate, that your estimate's going to be spot on? Do the trade. You haven't lost that deal, right? It's going to save on the profit margin. It's going to save Your used car manager is going to be happier. He's going to get a higher quality or a better understanding of what the used car is. You have that. You also have your used car manager who's going to the auction probably every month, who's watching cars go by, guessing at the reconditioning costs. What if he could scan it while he's standing there with his phone? Because there's no capital expenditure. This platform runs on your phone or your tablet at the store or the existing equipment you have. Now, as that thing's going, I know exactly what that's going to cost me. I know how to bid on that car, and I'm not losing money on that deal. Because what I've seen in my experience and several years in the automotive world is that used car reconditioning, that account, it's the magic account. Things just kind of go there to disappear because they have to happen. You've got to get your used car, has to be reconditioned to resell it. And if you are offering any type of warranty or certification on your used car, why wouldn't you want to scan it? Have that baseline when the person comes into the store and takes a look at it. Now you got a baseline. Either there's no damage or there is some damage. There's a liability coverage piece that's included there because you've got photos on file now. There's so many facets of this that it really starts to get traction. But what it's going to take is a smart dealer who's going to say, I realize there's an opportunity here. I've got to make this work, and I've got to have a team or a person who can pick up that phone and talk to somebody and say, your car was here or you went traded in and you had some issues. We'd love to help you with that. Let's figure out how to do this. How much, can you spend? We can look at OEM. We can look at a balance between OEM and aftermarket, or we can go try to find aftermarket and crash parts to keep you on the road. It's business. It's in your car. It's in your dealership. You don't have to go get it. The average dealer these days is spending $600 to $700 for customer acquisition. What if you fix their used car? They're going to come back to you. They're going to know what you took care of them. You helped them out through that. You're building a relationship and keeping the retention.
Not to mention not getting hit with expenses because people are doing their own estimate and it's usually off.
Yes. And I will tell you, Larry, that it can be off either way, right? Some people get a dent and go, that's going to cost me $2,000. Well, what if you called them up and said, hey, that's a $400 dent. Come on in. We'll get it fixed for you in 48 hours. They'll be thrilled. Or the one who says, this can't be that much. And you run the estimate and go, I'm sorry, but you've got a serious accident here. Let's get your insurance company on the phone and let's work through this. It allows for the conversation to happen, but you've got to have a baseline. So you're empowering that customer and your dealership to have that information at the tip of your hands. And you can, and in under a minute, I mean, it's 40 seconds to run the estimate.
So it's accurate and it's expedient. Usually it's one or the other. I like that.
And here's the kicker. What's it cost the dealer? Everybody always asks that. The average is about $1,000 to $1,200 a month. If you can't find that in that amount of repairs coming through, I mean, think about it, 40 a day.
And that's one car.
It's one car.
That's one car that you misunderstood.
And the thing that people also don't understand is the relationship you've now established with that consumer. That's the key thing. It's not just the dollars and cents. Granted, that is the important. But if I get that customer, I satisfy them. They rate me well on their surveys. They come back. They tell people about me. It's an opportunity. And the dealers using it and using it well are seeing the results on that side from a retention perspective.
You mentioned
Dan, I got a question for you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mike. I always get in front of you, but go ahead.
Just a question. I'm always looking at the angle from the B to C. Like, how does it affect the customer? How would it be used from the customer? In other words, is the app attained on my phone from the dealer, and the dealer is saying, hey, get on our app, and in case you get a fender bender or something like that, you got it. Is that the way it works?
That is, I would call that the next evolution. Right now, this is a dealer specific app. Now the dealer can forward on the estimate, which I would recommend they do, because it shows, and if you go to our website, advancedestimatics.com, you can see it there, but it'll show the person, here is the economy, the mid-range, and the OEM. So now you make the decision. You've got a full spread of what this is going to cost you. If you, like I said, it can come down to your insurance. Do you want to involve them or not? It comes down to, what is the dealer going to work it out with the collision shop? There's conversations that have to happen there. But you can give them, the dealer will give them the estimate. What we do is we provide it to the first point of contact that the dealership establishes, whether that's a service manager, a collision shop manager, a GM, or it could go directly to a collision shop. We've talked about those, with that symbiotic relationship of you. And I'm going to touch on that real brief, because there's usually dealerships are only connected to the collision shop as a referral engine, right? You need a repair, go see these guys. We work with them.
Yep.
Now, if you are tied together, you are going to grow your businesses together versus waiting for the insurance cars to keep coming in. And what we're finding, and you can look it up, a lot of folks now are getting those insurance checks but payouts from the insurance companies, but not repairing the car because they need the money. It's the economy. You've got a lot of cars now. The average age, I think, of a car is 13 years right now on the road. It's a very different world we live in. And if we can take advantage of what's coming into our lot for repair or for trade-in and use that to build that value and that relationship, it's going to help. And so we're encouraging them to share the estimate with the consumer. Very easy to do. And then let them go from there. Now, we are going to be building this out as a consumer-facing platform here soon. I can't say when, because it's only been here 2 months, but I'm working on it. But it has that ability to go direct to the customer because it's the same information, but we want to tie it to a dealership because that's where the relationship has to happen. And from
Mike, if Dan doesn't mind me jumping in,
please.
It's not just that it saves you money as a dealer, but it's that it's expedient. We are in the most impatient phase of humanity ever. People freak out when it takes 10 extra seconds for their computer to boot up. They start beeping their horn in line for McDonald's because they need their French fries quicker. So the fact
Larry,
that
I'm freaking out that I got a blank screen. I'm flying blind.
You look good. Don't worry, Mike.
Yeah, there we go, Mike.
Now,
Mike. But Larry, just to your point there, the other thing, and I'll give you an example. My son's got a Jeep Gladiator, and we have bicycles hanging in our garage. You can tell where this is going. He pulled his truck in too far, and the bike hit the hood, and it dented the hood. And I was like, God dang it. I mean, nothing. I'm one of those people that if I dent my car, I got to get it fixed. It just drives me insane. So I call the collision centers, and they're all like, well, we can get you in next Thursday, or I can get you in 2 weeks, or you got to be kidding me. I just want to know what it costs to fix this. If I had this with a dealer, the dealer could say, come by at any time. It'll take me a minute. And you could even have a lot tech, or you could have a service drive administrator come out, 5 photos, here you go. Or even one, just take the damage. That's all I want to know. What's it cost? I just need a close-up and one of where it is. And the AI engine will go in and tell you exactly what it costs to fix it. That would, from a speed perspective, speed to resolution, I could have had my car done and fixed probably faster than it took me to go get the ding-dong estimate in the first place. And so, yes, the expediency of repair is key. And I think the other thing too is, because I know there's people like me, there has to be, because I see the cars on the road. Cosmetic damage drives me insane. But I now know after a number of years what it costs to repair it. Most people don't know that. And I think if they did know that, they would get those things fixed, which would in turn drive up lease turn-in value, used car trade-in values. Those will all elevate as people know I can get that fixed. I can look like, I just bought a new car and get rid of that then. So Gary, I think I cut you off there, buddy.
Well, no, I just wanted to feed in, but thank you. Mike, you were talking about the consumer, and one thing that we are in the process of building out programs that will be available for the dealer to utilize. And as we've been talking about, 10% of the dealerships have body shops. So those dealerships have a head start on everybody else. So if any of the early adopters, the dealers that like to be early adopters, we can tailor programs where they can give a benefit to the consumer as a part of the why buy here. And we're talking about it'll be a trade-in protection plan, which meets the needs of what we're talking about when it talks about diminished value.
Yeah.
So smart dealers can take this and build it into their why buy here and give everybody the consumer app with the benefit of maybe a 1 year with $1,000 trade-in benefit. And then this new product in the F&I office is now to protect against diminished value. If your vehicle is in an accident and it's repaired, now you got a ding on your Carfax. There'll be programs where the F&I manager will be able to offer up to 7 years and $10,000 of benefit. That this is where the dealer can now dominate and own their market, and that the consumer just comes back to them for everything. Oh, I got into a little fender bender. They take the picture and somebody in the BDC or notification that their customer just got into an accident. It's time for our service department to shine. Should we go pick it up? Should we call the tow truck? So this is where the advanced estimatics, just the simplicity of the convenience. But now, as you're looking to acquire used cars in your lane, you've got lease returns. I mean, the opportunities become endless. And you can fill in this type of work, this cosmetic work, is what I'm learning, is you're not waiting on parts. You're not waiting on the insurance to get back to you. These are fill-ins. You see body shops, they got cars pulled apart all over the place. So the body shops can be much more efficient and keep their people busy doing the small jobs while waiting for the big jobs to get approved. So this is where I'm excited, is that a dealer can now take advantage and say, we're going to protect our customers. We know that they're getting beat up by the insurance companies. We want to take the transaction out of the insurance company's hands and let us continue to get our customer back on the road. So those are the really exciting part of what, not only does it speed up the process. I talk about a $2 million, challenge. There's $1 million easily sitting in these with 40 opportunities a day, even if it's only 20 opportunities a day. It's a customer conversation where, do you want to trade? Do you want to fix? Or can we buy it? So this is where it all fits into, there's gold in the service drive, and this product helps dealers organize it and win from it. So that's why I'm excited about all the benefits that come along, because it's not just a simple tool. It brings a system in place that is a real issue today.
Gary, when you said $1 million challenge, I thought you were referring to what it takes to repair a Tesla, because that's not far off in terms of the estimate.
Well, but you're also hearing is that on the other end is that it's so expensive to fix some of these cars. They're totaling 25% of these cars because of all the costs of repair and so it's an epidemic. It's a problem.
And some of it's compounded damage. They don't repair it, and it just gets worse and worse. Yeah. And Gary, I'm going to go back real quick, because the Trade-in Protection Plus piece that you can look about on our website too. So we're the only ones who offer the platform, or going to offer the platform with the protection. So the hypothetical here is that someone comes in, buys the car for $295. You've packed every car with a 1 year, $1,000 coverage on it. The customer will have access to a dealership branded platform that allows them to say, if I got into an accident or somebody dings my car with a shopping cart, I can scan it. It'll go to the dealership. The dealership will be able to contact me and figure out the best way to handle it. I can use the coverage I have. I can get it repaired and take the discount at trade-in. But what it's doing is it's marrying the two of you together with a 3-foot rope, right? Because what you want is that person to come back to the dealership. That's always the goal. Because what we find is, I think it's 90% of cars that are totaled, people don't go back to the same dealer. They go somewhere else. But if we could somehow have some value built in there that brings them back, and they have the tool, now they're going to have an idea of what it costs to fix it. And if it's, let's just say a dealer puts $3,000 or $3,000 on every car, and the damage is $2,500. Now you got to make a decision as the consumer. Am I going to go to some other store and give up the $2,500, or am I going to go get another car from the same dealer and take the $2,500 credit on my new purchase. So what it allows is you to have that relationship with them where you're giving them a tool. So now you are the first notice as a dealer, first notice of incident. Because if something happens to the car and I take it, the minute I take those photos and get the estimate, the dealership is now alerted. What if that phone call came in from the dealer and said, Mrs. Smith, I see you were just in an accident. Appreciate you sending in the estimate. Let me help you get through this. Let's figure out what we need to do. You've got this much coverage. I can fix it for this. What's your insurance? There's a stream of conversations that happen there that protect the trade-in value. You stay connected to them for the period of the term because there's going to be reminders coming out that say, just remember you've got this, or you're halfway there, or you're about to expire. If you'd like to upgrade. It keeps going, and it drives all that service revenue back to either the collision shop you work with or to your store. And that's parts sales. That's, capacity within the service department or collision department. There's so many benefits to it, and nobody else has those two things together. No one. You can't.
That point you made was fabulous. We try to keep these podcasts a little shorter so we can get more eyeballs on them. Obviously, the people can reach you at what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, 100%. Please. Yes.
Gary, Mike, any other thoughts for this fine gentleman? And thank you so much for joining us.
Sorry, Larry. I get excited. I can't stop myself. Yeah.
Well, after we cut the podcast, you and I'll just talk for a while.
There you go.
It's very exciting. I'm planning. I got next week. I'm meeting with a lot of fixed ops directors, and they're starting to see that there's an opportunity that unfortunately no one's been capitalizing on it. Because I've been going in, oh no, we don't do that. In the body shops, oh, we don't do that. Well, that certainly opens up an opportunity for smart dealers to take advantage, and that's how they can separate themselves from the pack. So I look forward to Dan getting more of his arms around everything, and we definitely want to have Dan back on, because I wish we had more time, because I wanted to ask Dan a few questions, and we're running short, but we'll save that for some other time.
Part two.
I'm learning the program. I'm building it. So I'm a resource for anybody. And it just, what I like about it is it connects that customer and for life. And that dealer can now build and build off of that.
And if any body shops are listening, I tend to drive a bit recklessly. You can, I can help you or promote some business by producing it. Mr. Larkin, any thoughts, sir?
Congratulations, Dan. We're just wrapping up episode 75. So congratulations, you're 75.
I love
75.
Yeah, you got to be back on at 100, 125, 150.
Yeah, buddy.
Excellent. Dan, thank you. Everybody stay healthy, and thank you for watching our Big Idea podcast.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good weekend.